All right, how's it going, everybody? This is Hino Kodo unboxing the Hex Kit and the card and coin box. Straight from Longpack, this is the samples. So this is their first attempt at making the things I sent them. In this box is very well packaged. 2 boxes. There's a large 9x9 box and a smaller 5x9 inch box. First up, we'll look at card and coin. For those of you who are just catching up, card and coin is basically a kind of a poker kit. It's a deck of cards, a deck of multi-use playing cards, so it's just like any normal playing card deck, except there's extra components to each card. They can rotate, and there's a whole new set of numbers, and there's a bunch of shapes and money values on them. And here I'm flipping through the box, all the box sides. It has a really soft texture. These are supposed to be uncoated. That's what the spine looks like. Nice and colorful. I think it'll stand out. And then for the folks who display their boxes horizontally, there are options everywhere. Here I'm looking at their magnetic boxes, and the snap on that felt very good. It felt very secure. In this box is some small boards, playing boards, some tokens. These are extra money tokens. The box also includes 100 metal coins. So this is both money and cards, hint, card and coin. Maybe that was apparent, but I tried to make it obvious. Okay, anyways. So it comes with I had some extra space, so it came with some extra money. This is one of the larger playing boards. It has 2 sides. Can use in a variety of ways, and a big part of this idea is with this box is that it's playing cards you can play a ton of games with, and I really wanted to make a box that kind of facilitated play more with all these extra elements. The box is big enough to hold sleeved cards. I did test this out after I filmed this. I used slightly thicker sleeves than what normal people use, and it was very, very tight. Still usable, but very, very tight. Now the sample doesn't quite come the way I think the official final version will. They are supposed to be paper band, just like you see here, but like them being saran wrapped, that plastic wrapped, I don't think that will be what we end up doing. They just want to make sure it comes to me in a safe. We can only make so many of these one-off copies, so I think that's just them being safe. So it's a deck of 52 playing cards. Sorry, this video is just going to be me rambling while I'm doing a voiceover after I filmed it. When I filmed this video, a lot was going on in person. I couldn't give you a coherent thought, and here I am later, not really doing that either. Anyway, so the colors came out really well. This is me just going through every card. It's a standard 52 card deck. 54? I can't remember. There's 2 jokers. Colors look good. Really excited about them. They're not the thickest type of poker cards. I was trying to go eco-friendly, and I'm almost positive these are coreless. So they're not most. I don't know if you know this, but playing cards have a plastic core in them, kind of like a credit card, really thin credit card in between that paper outing, and that's a lot of plastic. Playing cards are not recyclable, and a big part of this, all of this is trying to be eco-friendly. And so I'm pretty sure these are coreless, but I need to triple check. Part of getting a quote and stuff with these manufacturers is just kind of working with what they got. I'm so new, so I need to triple check. Now they added these clear stickers onto things. That's not something I requested. But the thing I did request was to put all the metal coins in these trays, these drawer boxes, because there wasn't room outside of that. And they did it two different ways. This first way is they put coins in plastic bags. This is typically how you get them in board games and stuff. There are 101 metal coins. There's one 100 coin, and then there's 25s, 10s, 5s, and 1s. And there are 30 5s and 1s, and there are 20 25s and 10s. Really hard to get a close detailed shot of these, but they're metal, they're stamped. They come in 4 different colors. I really love how the 100 coin came out. My plan in the future is to put a $100 coin in each game that I make, and then you can add this to your collection or just collect the coins if you'd like. A lot of games have first player tokens, and that's kind of what I'm treating them as. The drawer boxes have some highlighted shapes at the bottom. Each money is a different shape. So unlike poker chips, which are all circular, and the only differentiator that you can see across the room is color, with the shapes, the unique shapes here, my hope is this will be more friendly, be more colorblind friendly. If you see the bow tie, then you know it's 25. Well, you'll learn that once you get the coins, you get familiar with them. There's a green, red, blue coins, and then the ones are kind of like a silver. These plastic stickers, these stickers here, I took them off later, and usually with these things, there's like residue. They're really sticky. They leave like gunk behind, or they rip up the like the paper coating and stuff on things. These came off perfectly. I didn't have to heat them up or anything. This might just be because they're fresh. I don't know if that residue thing happens because games just sit around in warehouses for a while, and humidity and heat gets affects them. These are the $1 coins that you're seeing on the screen now. I really love how these came out. On one side is kind of one side has kind of a drawing on it. These are all kind of themed around the Miru game, and Allura is kind of like AI that takes over the world. And the idea of these coins is that they're supposed to be kind of like physical crypto coins that a billionaire tries to make, and then the world ends, and so it never takes off. But then 100 years later, people just want something cool to trade around, and they find these, and that's what they trade with. So it's a kind of funny, ironic thing in the Miru games. But I really liked how they turned out here. One side has that drawing on it, and it has it written out in English, like the value of that coin. And on the other side, kind of has a like a sci-fi thing going on with the the odd lines, the grid-like shapes. I was kind of going with like streets, but I don't know. I like how they turned out. My one complaint with these, right, because this is a sample, so we're just looking at these the first time I'm unboxing this, is the contrast on the 5, 10s, and 25s. It's kind of hard to see up close with this, and I'm already gone. But with the coins, my one complaint there is the contrast. I really would like to be able to see the numbers on the coins from a distance. If I'm like squinting, or if the light's low, like a bar or a brewery or something. But Otherwise, I really liked how that one turned out. So let's move on to the Hex Kit. I had to zoom out here. This one's a bigger box, a 9 by 9 inch box. Spine is about 2.5, 3 inches. List of components and stuff on the back, just so you know what all you're getting. You can store your box horizontally. You know, it still has a functional title. Not a lot of board games do that, so hoping that we'll start a revolution here, huh? Also magnetic, and that was cool. And then another note I have for them is I want to see if I can. You see how the other end is like glued to the side of the box? I want to see if I can get it so the lid lays flat on the table, especially for the card and coin box. That one has a grid on it. I'd like to be able to put tokens on it, kind of like checkers or something, for more gameplay. Anyways, so here on the Hex Kit, comes with 4 of these drawer boxes. One of the notes I have for them is I need to add a hole in the back part so you can push it open. Right now, the only way to get them open is through gravity, kind of just letting it fall out. It works, it's functional, but it would be nice if they were a little bit tighter on the boxes. They said they can do that for me, and if there was a hole for me to push out the tray, I think a lot more people would find that useful. Anyway, there's 4 boxes, a bunch of tokens in this game. There's like 150 tokens or more. There's the $100 coin for this box. And so the idea is you're supposed to store all these tokens in those tuck boxes. There are 3 games, and so you have a save file with that yellow box once you go from game to game, and then as you there's a set of tokens per game, so you can store those in the right color boxes and pull them out whenever you get to that version of Miru. It comes with 3 little wood dice. They're very tiny. They're very cute. They let me do numerals. So instead of dots, they're numbers. Much easier to see and count, I think. And the little white cube is for tracking. There's boards of character sheets in this box. And that's what that little white cube is for. These are the god meeples. So Miru is a god hunting game, and there are these giant, Zoids or giant machines running around, and you are destroying them, or you're trying to, and you're that tiny little character, wee little guy right there. So the gods are much bigger than you, and the tiles. This is a hex tile kit. The idea is that it's mostly from Miru, but if you have you're big into D&D or other TTRPG games, you can use these tiles just to put it on the table, give your players something to reference. There's a bunch of general terrains, grasslands, mountains, forests. I hid all of the Miru stuff on the back side of the tiles, so people could kind of use these in a general sense. And the meeples, for the most part, contrast pretty well against that map tile. That one little light green one is a little... I'll see if I can adjust that color a little bit. They did a great job with the paint options. My agent, the person I work with, I sent them all these files. The colors you see are the colors I see on my screen, on my computer. So they are extremely professional and did a phenomenal job at picking these colors. All those tokens you just saw are for the character sheet, essentially. Basically, instead of writing down stats, you can use those tokens to move. You see that numbered grid that just went by? You can use those little tokens on that and track them that way. What am I showing here? Okay, so storage after you unpunch 12 different sheets of cardboard. It gets a little interesting with board games. A lot of times board games will come with lid lift, that's what they call it, where the lid kind of sticks up above, but because I have a magnetic box, you can't really have lid lift. And so here I'm trying to show you how the tiles will stack. I have a different way to do that later, actually. So I'm changing the bottom of the box print. But these are what the back of the tiles look like. And the idea is when you move to a new tile, you see the direction you're going at. So if you were to enter this one grassland tile from the top right, it would be windy. And this one, if you entered it from, just like I pointed to, it would be windy. And that may change the effect. And there's a little event number there. And so you just look in your Miro book and you read the event, and that's what it is. And if you had a generic, TTRPG game, you can apply that to your own. The cardboard tokens feel thick. They're nice. They feel, to me, these are very legible. I was really worried about the font being too small, but they will function. I was limited on a lot of space. 150 tokens. You don't want them too big. They'll take up too much room. But I think these turned out okay. And now we're flipping through all the different terrains. So these are swamps. The one before that was desert. I tried to kind of color code them. So if you couldn't quite tell what they are, generally red is mountain, purple swamp. Pretty classic colors. I'm really happy with how the forest and the trees came out. That one took me like a whole year to kind of figure the trees out. I also have some kind of, these are like nothing tiles. And so they have a little bit of an effect, like a little bit of grasslands or a little bit of deserts. And they'll really help you fill in maps. Once it's out on the table, those blank ones look very nice. Let's see in here. I'm showing you how the tracker works. Yep, falls through. That's okay. I fixed this. So a lot of your trackers will hang out in that 1 through 10 area. So I made those spots a little bit bigger. But you can see here it's like money. If you have 10 money, you throw it down there. If it's that 9th calendar day, you put it on the 9. Pretty straightforward stuff, I think. There's a few tokens. I think I have you'll probably have 6 or so running around in here. It'll be a little busy at times, but a lot easier than writing and erasing and writing and erasing and doing all that. The little dots you see on it, the colorful ones, are related to the Miru game. If you see a one red dot in Miru 1, then that's a cutscene and a big event happens on those days. So those are visual reminders. There's also a lot of now I have uncoded punch board here, and because coding on print, I don't know if you know this, but coding on print is a plastic. That's what keeps it keeps longevity and keeps a lot of stuff scratch proof and that kind of thing. I'm going uncoated for the eco-friendliness, and I don't know if these splotches are because of that or because this is a one-off, and a lot of times they'll do them with digital printing stuff. And some of the samples I've gotten from other companies before, when they do digital printing, there can be this kind of yellow splotchiness, which is showing up on a lot of stuff here. So I have a feeling it's just because of the digital printing, but I'll have a conversation with them soon about it, and we'll go from there. If I have to do a coating to make sure that doesn't happen, I'll do what I need. I want a pretty game, but trying to avoid plastic where possible. What I'm showing you here is in the Mirror 1, there's a Sudoku puzzle, and you'll find these tokens, and this is me showing you how those look. And then on the other side, there's a cryptic language in the Mirror games, and this was each letter has a shape associated with it. If you're familiar with my font work, this is Loraglyphs, and my fonts are available for purchase on itch.io for those interested. But you can learn it for free, or you can, if you have the hex kit, you can learn it. They're also in the Miro books. You got to decode them in Miro 2, so you don't have to. It's a lot of that's optional, but anyways, part of the cryptic fun. So I'm just showing you how the cube works. There's a kind of a steps in a turn thing going on in the mirror games. There's a lot of letters here. It's not that complicated. A lot of them you skip every day. But it's helpful to be clear and mechanical with some things. So that's it's been a few years since the mirror came out, and that's kind of where I ended up at with all those steps. So it works well, though. It goes quick. Yep, this is basically the combat board. Your dice sit there. There are some skills in the mirror games that you can get better at, and you earn more dice, so they unlock. You can kind of see the locks. If you get poisoned, there's a token for that. So these are like helpful reminders. There's a burn and a stun for the enemy that'll also go on this board. And skills you learn will go off to the right of the board. There's these tokens you'll get as you play. And yeah, I got, I don't know if people will think it's the most elegant, but that kind of bow tie poison thing I was showing you is my way to get 3 stats on 1 token. These tokens, these are, there's a proof of purchase and an exchange with Hino Kodo token. I had 2 extra pieces. I had 2 extra pieces I need to fill in, and I hate blank pieces when they do these things. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to give people when they exchange this token with me yet. I'm hoping I can print some more $100 coins, but if I ever do a convention or something, I'll exchange those. And then this token is kind of a bonus card and coin token. I want to come up with a game or two for that, just to kind of tie them together. The metal coins in card and coin can be used as money in the Hex Kit. They're the currency in the mirror games. So I'm hoping people get them together. Some of the tokens, I did the illustrations on each tile. Some are a little bit cooler than others, I think. That one had a face on it. Yeah, there's only 4 with colors on the back of them. My idea here is like you can use them with as dividers when you set the game, put the game away in the box, or you can shuffle them in when you're drawing tiles, and those can be special events. There's a few special events that happen in each game, and that's one way to trigger them. Let's see, what else am I showing? That was the Hex Kit in the card and coin box. I think I'm talking here a little bit about how I want to do the storage, and it's very close to that. Yeah. Anyway, so that's it. That's the Hex Kit. Thanks for watching this very long unboxing. I appreciate everybody. I hope to see you later, and yeah. Bye-bye.